Tonight, a temporary break on the GST starts December 14th, so will it be good or bad for local business? Plus, Mayor Simon Yu, independent of the city of Prince George, has declared December to be Christian Heritage Month. And the Prince George Spruce Kings have released their head coach, Alex Evin, of his duties. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Burles. It came out of the blue last week, a $250 check for all Canadians who earn under $150,000. But the announcement also set out a number of things that will become free of GST for 2 months. But for small business, it can be either both by good or bad.
As we head into the busy Christmas shopping season, the federal government proposes dropping the GST on certain items such as spirits, beer, wine, etc. In fact, here's the list. Prepared foods, restaurant meals, snacks, beer, wine, cider, and pre-mixed alcohol beverages below 7%. Children's clothing, footwear, car seats and diapers, children's toys, books, Christmas trees. A headache for small business?
Politics aside, more money in our customers' pockets is a great thing. However, it's not so easy as just flipping a switch and not charging GST on things. It becomes much more difficult over time for us to be able to, on a very specific day, take it off of certain items, leave it on certain items. The reconciliation and how we represent that in our reporting to the government can also be more difficult.
The GST in BC right now is 5%, and he says unless shopping habits change drastically, the impact on both the vendor and the consumer will be negligible.
Yeah, I mean, the GST exemption is going to be on items that you purchase every day or low-cost items. So unless you're changing your buying behaviors and going to buy a lot of wine over a very short period of time, chances are it's probably not going to impact you to a great deal, but hopefully there is a little bit of money left in your bank account at the end of the week so that you can go out for that dinner that maybe you weren't planning on doing before.
The idea of scrapping the GST was lobbied for hard by the NDP federally, and while this is a positive step, it doesn't go far enough.
We're not finished. Like I said, the NDP has been demanding much more than this. We're going to keep pushing the government to bring in permanent affordability measures that help working and middle-class families make ends meet. And absolutely, you know, every time we demand things, the Liberals, when they do cave, they come forward with something that isn't exactly what we were pushing for.
The NDP is actually pushing for a permanent end to the GST, but Bell says dropping the GST for good is much more like robbing Peter to pay Paul.
But there are a lot of other factors in terms of the debt that our governments are incurring, and that ultimately comes back to us in taxes in other ways or interest that our kids are going to pay. So from my standpoint, more money in our customers' pockets is a great thing, but it's a bigger issue and everyone's going to have to figure out how to deal with it in their own way.
He says what adds to the challenges for small business is the confusion for consumers, especially as the reprieve will only last 2 months. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
And Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says there's a disconnect between recent positive economic data and the way Canadians feel about the economy. Freeland's dubbed that a vibe session and says the government hopes its temporary GST break will help address that. And as we mentioned, the government is taking the goods and services tax off an assortment of essential and non-essential items for 2 months starting in mid-December. And Ottawa also plans to send $250 checks in the spring to working Canadians who earned up to $150,000. Mayor Simon Yu, independent of the city of Prince George, has declared December to be Christian Heritage Month. Tommy Osborne has more on the decision, as well as the reaction of community members of other organizations.
Mayor Simon Yu recently declared December to be Christian Heritage Month in Prince George. This declaration was made outside of City Council or the City of Prince George, and the mayor says he hopes this Heritage Month can be a way to celebrate many of our community members.
I think it's a good thing, you know, to strengthen the community through the people's belief.
When naming 1 month dedicated to Christianity, was there any concern about potentially favoring one religion over another? Yu says that definitely was not his intention, adding he never wants to mix politics with religion.
We do not discriminate in terms of, we just thought, you know, to have a month to dedicate it to the Christian community here in town, it reflects the cultural background of this community as well.
As for other religious groups, the Guru Nanak Darbar Sikh Society says it respects the mayor's declaration. And while the Sikh faith also has an important festival in December, the mayor's declaration is not an issue for them.
There is no problem. Our community fully cooperating that month of heritage.
We are definitely not here in the city of Prince George, as long as I'm the mayor, to promote one religion over the other or to cause frictions. No, we are all children of God.
Dillon explained the Sikh community will be celebrating a festival commemorating the martyrdom of 2 children that kept the Sikh religion alive in December. So the Gurdwara will be celebrating that. But the main message it wants to get across is that it respects the mayor's choice and wants to preach accepting everyone.
Love for all, hatred none, respect other community as a whole.
Mayor Yu added he would definitely consider declaring other months as religious heritage months if the request was made. Tommy Osborne, CKPG News.
The Conference and Civic Center has been busy with activity as preparations are underway for the 31st Annual Festival of Trees. The trees are going up and activities are happening all over the place as the Festival of Trees is set to launch in just 2 days. The mandate of the Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundation is to improve access to healthcare for all Northern British Columbians, one project at a time, and there are a number of projects the Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundation has funded over the years through projects like Festival of Trees.
We're absolutely ahead of schedule right now, which is great, but we're bringing an outdoor market to Festival of Trees this year, so that's taking up a lot of time to put those pieces together. We've got vendors on site, we've got mulled wine, we've got hot chocolate set up, we've got a skating rink, we've got lots of new additions to Festival this year, so lots of moving parts. The theme this year is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and it's really just focused on a traditional Christmas. When you think back to your childhood, what do you remember with Christmas? Really trying to play up that nostalgic piece of Christmas for everybody.
The lowest gas price in Prince George is $1.46.9 per litre at Flying J Cardlock. This also happens to be the lowest price in the province right now. Manitoba currently has the lowest gas prices in the country on average at $1.28.7 per litre. Meanwhile, BC has an average price of $1.68.6 per litre.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Join the Domino's Lunch Club with 25% off all regular price pizzas every day. Visit domino's.ca to join the club.
The Cougars wrapped up their season-long 6-game homestand this past Friday against the Kamloops Blazers with a big name back in the lineup and a milestone night for one of their 20-year-olds. Jane DeMello brings us more.
As the Cougars prepared to face the Blazers for a Friday night clash at the CN Centre, Cats forward Borja Vallis was set to play in his 200th WHL game.
Seems like I just got in the league last week, so it's time flies by fast, and you got to enjoy every moment of it. So 200 it's crazy, and hopefully we'll have a good one tonight.
Along with Vallis' milestone, Riley Height returned to the lineup with a bubble cage on after missing 2 games with a broken jaw. And despite the Blazers getting on the board first, number 27 didn't miss a beat.
2-on-1 with Parasak. Height left circle to Parasak. Great move, scores! Up the right wing with Riley Height. Parasak to Height, he scores!
Height and Parasek's chemistry was on full display as they connected for 2 goals and the lead in the game. After Jet Lajoie found the back of the net for their third, they went into the break up 1, and Parasek talked about having the captain back on his line.
He's a really good player, obviously. He's super easy to play with. We kind of feed off each other and just know where each other's going to be out there, and we're able to execute our plays.
And just over 2 minutes into the final frame, the duo were back at it with a bit of luck and some help from number 13.
And here's Parasek, drag move, holds, Seymour, cross ice, here's a chance, oh, what a save, and it trickles in! Riley Height does it again, and the Cougars regain a 2-goal lead.
27's 10th tally of the season gave him a 4-2 lead, and defenseman Arseny Anisimov put the game on ice as he potted his first career WHL goal to clinch a 5-3 victory. Height was named the first star in his return and received some high praise from coach Mark Lamb postgame.
Yeah, I just enjoy, coaching him and sitting back and watching this guy play. He's amazing, and he brings everybody into it. Like he even though he's got that, that helmet on and that mask on, he stuck his head right in there, puts his nose in there, and he plays, just played the right way.
The Cougars wrapped up their season-long homestand, grabbing 9 of a possible 12 points before heading on a 3-game road trip. Jaden Amello, CKPG News.
However, it was a disappointing night on Sunday for the Prince George Cougars, falling to the Vancouver Giants by a score of 4-3. Oria Vallis, Lee Shergott, and Riley Heidt all had goals in this game, but Heidt's goal in the third couldn't erase the deficit. Tyson Zimmer scored 2 goals for the Giants and was the first star of the game. The Cats don't play again until this coming Friday when they head east to take on the Red Deer Rebels, and then they are in Edmonton on Saturday against the Edmonton Oil Kings. The TSX is down 34 points to close at 25,410. The Dow Jones is up 440 points to close at 44,736. And Canfor went at $1.25 to close at $18.29.
Good evening again, everyone. A beautiful day out there for the most part across our region with lots of sunshine. We can hang on to that again for our Tuesdays. So looking back at the satellite, you'll see a little bit of cloud cover here and there, but a lot of areas definitely were under some nice blue skies. So we'll get that again for tomorrow. Beautiful clear skies for most of the day. Foggy overnight tonight, though, so early morning it'll be quite foggy as well. And then we're going to see this system up here sliding down, and that's going to create some problems come Wednesday. We're anticipating the return of periods of snow. So that's all starts Wednesday and carries right through most of the week. So here's the future cast, pretty quiet for the next little bit. And then come Wednesday, you can see that system pushing in. So that is going to bring pretty wintry conditions again. Temperatures quite chilly for most of the week still. So here are the temperatures and conditions tomorrow, though. We can enjoy some nice sunny sky across much of the province. The north coast, though, being hit by that system first, 4 degrees for Prince Rupert and rainy showers throughout much of the day and changing to rain at times. -10 Fort St. John. Up in the Peace, it's nice and sunny but cold. +1 in Kamloops, southern part of the province, nice and bright, but temperatures are certainly taking a dip down. -10 in Burns Lake. I like the look of this, not the temperatures necessarily, but definitely the conditions. -11 in Vanderhoof. We're seeing sunshine right up in Fort St. James, Mackenzie as well. A little bit milder down through Quesnel and McBride at -3 for your daytime high. West Coast looks nice and bright tomorrow. Colder in Edmonton, but nice sunny sky. -11, and then snow in through the parts of the prairies. -13 for Regina tomorrow. Further east, those temperatures coming down as well. Montreal, Toronto, and that mixed precipitation in the forecast. So as we jump ahead to later on into the week, we're still hanging on to some snow and flurries in the mix. So it'll be a pretty wintry rest of the week starting on Wednesday. Burns Lake will see that for sure, especially in the morning hours, and then you're looking at some snow right through Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Cold tonight, -19, sunny tomorrow, but chilly. -17 tonight in Mackenzie, cloudy, very cold out there. Cold tomorrow as well, -12. So still seeing that Arctic air hanging around. It does get slightly better for at least 1 or 2 days this week, -9 on Thursday, but it'll be lots of snow in the forecast for much of the week ahead. Might get a break on Friday. McBride, -17 tonight, becoming cloudy. It is going to be chilly out there. These are just the posted temperatures, so when you factor in a wind chill, it takes that temperature down even more. Tuesday, Wednesday don't look too bad. It'll be the snow coming your way on Thursday, and then that will be the case right through most of the end of the week and into the weekend as well. Cold tonight in Quesnel, -12, your overnight low, -3 tomorrow. Sunny sky, beautiful out there. And then some afternoon snow showers in the mix on Wednesday, and that's the start of this next trend here. A pretty wet one ahead. So for us in Prince George, fog developing overnight tonight. Cold temperatures down to about -21. So just take note of that overnight low, -11 for the high tomorrow. Still chilly out there tomorrow. Lots of sunshine, though. Wednesday, periods of snow beginning, -7 our high, and it looks like it'll be a pretty snowy and wet rest of the week ahead, right into the weekend. Maybe by the end of the weekend, temperatures might improve, but that will create some icy conditions out on the road, so just make sure you're staying safe.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Join the Domino's Lunch Club with 25% off all regular price pizzas every day. Visit domino's.ca to join the club.
Alex Evin will no longer serve as the Prince George Spruce Kings head coach, as a release from the team says it's relieving Evin of his duties. Associate coach Brad Tessink will serve as the interim head coach, and a possible in-season hiring of a new head coach is possible. Evin served as the head coach for 8 seasons, and during his time at the helm, won a championship in 2019. However, the last season and a half have seen the Spruce Kings hover towards the bottom of the league in the rankings, and the Spruce Kings said a change was needed to get the team back on track.
It was a tough day. You know, Alex has been here for 8 seasons and done a lot for our organization. So, you know, he's a good friend, and we had a good relationship. So it's never an easy day when you have to make a move like this.
Hawes said he addressed the team during today's practice, and while some players were understandably upset to hear the news, Hawes believes it was a necessary change to get the team living up to his expectations. Hawes added he expects relieving Evin of his coaching duties to not only be in the best interest of the team, but also serve as a wake-up call, as the players are also responsible for the losses adding up.
This team, in my eyes, I've been around the game a long time. I know, you know, kind of what I'm looking at when I see the team, and I think this team is better than what our record indicates. So, and they know that. The players recognize that, and so it's going to be up to them internally to help turn this thing around. And but we're all in it together, and we're all going to push together in the right direction and get things back on track.
The Spruce Kings are 6-12-2 on this season and will be back on the ice on Friday in Coquitlam, taking on the Express. And a quick correction, Alex Evin became head coach in 2020, but has been a part of the coaching staff for the past 8 seasons.
Hello from the CKPG Today side. Got a great one coming up over here, including a little bit about the Civic Light Up happening on Wednesday. It's an exciting time for the city, I mean, right? It's always dark, gloomy. The days are short, but it gets a whole lot better when the city lights up. Festival of Trees kicking off Wednesday in conjunction with that. We get all that and more. Plus, we're going to take you behind the scenes at Spotless Uniform in Prince George. It's a textile rental business. They do laundry on the side. But if you ask me, when you're up close and personal with these guys, they do a heck of a lot of laundry up on the hill in the heart. We're going to take you behind the scenes there. I'll throw it to you on the other side. You ever had a stain you couldn't get out? Because I feel like these are the guys that would get it out for you.
Not that I can remember. It'd be a hard thing for me to remember a stain that I couldn't get out. There's a lot of other things that go on in my life that I pay more attention to than stains, but maybe someday I'll remember one. Turning to our final story tonight, PG Animal Rescue has a bunny looking to hop his way into your home. Sam Bennison has more in this week's Forever Friends.
Meet Hoppy. Hoppy is a 4-year-old Netherland dwarf rabbit and a resident of the PG Animal Rescue. This bewitching bunny is ready to bounce his way into your heart.
He's really sweet. He loves people. He's very curious. He doesn't show any signs of aggression at all. He does get a little bit nervous, obviously, with new people, but it just takes him a few minutes to get warmed up, and then he's good to go.
Drianne adds that this is a great opportunity for anyone looking to add a rabbit to their home, as he's already litter trained.
Being 4, he's obviously a little bit more mature, which is nice. So we've learned that he is, once he gets used to it, he's really good with using his litter box, which is awesome. He's not a big chewer, so he's not going to mess up your house at all, which is super nice as long as you keep him obviously in a nice contained area.
As for caring for a bunny, they recommend a large space for Hoppy to roam.
Our best recommendations are obviously doing a big playpen, or even doing a large crate at night and then letting them free roam during the day. The biggest thing with them is they need a constant supply of hay for their digestive tract. And keeping them nice and healthy, lots of enrichment, so we like to give them kind of puzzle feeders to do their food as well, and then greens. They definitely need a supply of greens to help, kind of the same thing with the hay.
Drianne adds that they hope Hoppy finds a loving home with kids.
Seeing Hoppy here compared to a lot of other rabbits, he's super sweet. He's really curious, which is really fun to see. He loves coming up to people, seeing new things. So it'd be really nice to see him go to a good home where everyone can appreciate him as much as we do.
If you want to adopt Hoppy, you can contact the PG Animal Rescue. You can also visit him in person at Total Pet. Sam Bennison, CKPG News.
All right, that's all the time we have tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, your last look is the Nechako River from the Northern Lights Estate Winery. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your night.